Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're an oldie, if you're a newbie, hey, go ahead and just pause this video real quick, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can know every time I upload a video, girl, because you do not want to miss them, okay? So you guys, as you guys can see from the title, I am doing an ombre nail with using 2 pink tones. First, pause. Let's just go ahead and talk about my voice. I know I sound like a man. Y'all don't have to burn me up in the comments. I have been sick for like the past week and a half. Allergies just really take the best of me. Seriously. So I apologize for sounding like a man in advance. So let's get back to this video. So normally I would show you guys like how I prep my nail, but I didn't realize that my camera wasn't recording when I started prepping. So to prep my nails, I just went ahead and used my fine drill bit, my fine file drill bit, and went ahead and took all the shine off the natural nail, and then I went and primed it and dehydrated it with a primer that I got from my local nail supply store. It's a professional nail supply store, and the IBD dehydrator. I will leave everything down in the description box for you guys, so if you don't catch it right now, it'll be down below, don't worry. And then after that, I typically go over the nail with a thin layer of clear acrylic, but I completely forgot to do that in this video, so we're not going to stress about it. We're going to keep moving. The pink acrylic that I'm using here, as you guys can see, it actually is from the professional nail supply store that I go to. They also make acrylic there, and I have no idea. Like, they don't put a label on who it's from or what products they use. I normally use GLITS and GLAM. They have a pink acrylic, but I didn't feel like ordering it online, so I just went ahead and saw this pink, and I was like, oh, yes, I need to buy that now. So I can't give you the name of that, but you can use any neon pink acrylic that you find will do. So I go ahead and do the tips. I'm only putting the pink on the tips, that's it. I go ahead and do that first on all the nails so it can dry. So by the time I get back to the first nail and start using my natural pink, it'll just all blend together and it won't kind of smudge because it's not dry. So I do that, and when you place the acrylic down, you don't want to put a thick layer. You want it to be really thin actually, because you don't want your nail to be too thick, because then that causes a lot of problems when it's time to file. Okay, you guys, so I know y'all looking at my napkin like, oh my god, that thing is a mess. I literally like have to clean my brush each time I use this acrylic, because this pink acrylic will get up into my bristles of my brush, oh my god, and get chunked up in there. It drives me crazy. So don't judge me, I'm just really anal about that. It literally is so irritating when it gets dry inside your bristles, and it's really hard to come out. So I know it looks crazy, but it's okay. So now I'm going in with my natural pink tone acrylic. Now this acrylic I made using 3 of the Glitz and Glam colors. I believe, don't quote me, I believe I used melted butter, rose, and I want to say it was called Lyric or Lilac. I can't remember the last one, but I will leave all 3 of them down in the description box. So that you guys can, if you like the tone, you can make it on your own. I use a teaspoon of each color, mixed it up, shook it up real good, and achieved this color. So now you want to take that natural pink that I made, and you want to get it as close to the cuticle as possible without flooding the cuticle. Now, if you don't know what flooding is when the acrylic just kind of travels around the cuticle, and that will cause lifting, which you don't want. If it lifts, your nails won't last a week, I promise you. So you really want to pay close attention to how close you get it to the cuticle without actually getting it on the cuticle. Also, you don't have to use a lot of acrylic for this step either. I mean, if you want to, by all means. But what I do is I'll put down the color acrylic, and then I'll go over the color acrylic with a clear acrylic, and it really helps build the nail as well. I do that so when I file, it doesn't file away the color acrylic, because if it does that, then you have a hole and you have to go back. It's just like a whole process. So I put a layer of clear acrylic over top of it after it's dry. Now that we've applied acrylic on all the nails, I go back and make like minor adjustments. Anything that I didn't like, or I feel like I need to add a little bit more acrylic, I go ahead and do that. Then after that, I let everything dry and I start to file. The file that I'm using here is a 180 file. I use a hand file just to get the shape back, because sometimes when you apply acrylic, the shape kind of gets a little lost in there. So I just go ahead and define my shape. Then I use my my coarse drill bit. It's a file as well, file drill bit, and I just go over it just to define the nail even more, and just to remove some of the bulk. Now, it doesn't remove a lot. It's not like the coarse drill bit, which you'll see in a second here, but it does remove some of it without leaving any of the marks that the gold drill bit leaves. I don't know if you guys can notice, but by using a file, to me, by using a file, it really helps blend all of the acrylic, like all the colors together really well. I did apply a clear coat over top. That also helps with blending. So sometimes I know when I first started doing, which wasn't that long ago, but when I first started doing ombres, it would be like a defined line. Like you can see the line perfectly from one color to the other. And I realized that once I filed it down and then applied the clear coat over top of it, a clear coat of acrylic, it helped blend the colors a lot better. So if that might help some of you who have a problem with, you know, blending out the colors. Now I'm still using my coarse file bit. I use this for not most of my nail, but depending on what look I'm going for, I will use this quite a bit. And then after this one, I use the gold drill cross cut bit, I believe it's called. And that one helps remove bulk and helps really smooth out the nail. If there's any lumps or bumps or anything, that is the file that gets it all out. Like, it removes everything, and it removes a lot of bulk as well. And there is the gold drill bit that I was talking about. This is what I use to get close to my cuticle without actually getting my cuticle. But it helps file everything down so there won't be any lifting as well. So I use that for all of my nails, of course. And I make sure my main focus with this drill bit is my cuticle, because you don't want the cuticle, I'm telling y'all what I know, you do not want the cuticle to have any spaces or any openings where water or anything like that can get into it, because once it does, it really messes up. I mean, it gets through the nail and it causes it to lift. So once I'm done filing, I go back to my hand file and just get any of the last, like, small or minor things before I buff. So I buff every nail, every client, all the time. Buffing is so important, you guys. I don't know about y'all, but I used to go to the nail salon and be like, why did I do this part? But this is really important. I buff just so that I can get any scratches or marks out of the nail. After that, I applied my top coat, and that finished this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you would like to see more looks like this one, be sure to leave that down in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.